Group 3, and today we will present about the business presentation of TerraCycle. This is our table of content, and let me introduce about our company CEO. He's Tom Saki. He's the CEO of TerraCycle, and he dropped off the school at the age of 19 to develop TerraCycle. He started by turning organic waste into fertilizer and into used soda bottle and lay the foundation for TerraCycle. So about TerraCycle, it initiated in 2001, specialized in collecting empty soda bottle and turning into worm casting, and it now operates in 20 more than 20 countries worldwide and achieved many award accolades. So the mission and the vision of TerraCycle is to achieve the goal of eliminate the idea of waste through collaboration, innovation, and the sustainability. So let's move to problem analysis. We will have three core issues here. First is the rapidly growing global waste generation, low waste collection rate in low income and rural area, and also the global plastic waste. So let's delve into the environment. You know that the burning plastic waste account for 5.9 million ton emission, equivalent to the 1.26 million car or 500 million gallon of gasoline. Is the emission from burning plastic waste in the large country like the US, along with the rising of CO2 emission and the landfill plastic pollution, which you know that it each incinerator produce 175 times more than the CO2. And in terms of wellness, they're concerned of increased mortality rate, which is estimates that the in developing country there are 400,000 to 1 million deaths per year, which stem from the mismanagement waste. And in the health inequality, the minority community live near the incinerator have the higher health rate, and they also ingest some toxic chemical like the PBDE, BPA, and DEHP, which is premature days and costing a lot of money. Uh, in social, the farming is at risk as the 33% of the cattle and 50% of the goats ingest the plastic, and it leads to the starvation. So it's very severe economic loss for the farmer, and also the mismatched plastic waste negatively affect the wildlife, which decrease the value of housing and the risk of to the urban life also. So to evaluate, the global response remains fragmented. Most solutions focus on the downstream waste management rather than tackling the root cause. The waste to energy and incineration may seem practical, but they create new problems by harming the public health and reinforcing the social inequality. The community most opposed to these facility are often marginalized, but the people still voiceless in decision making. Um, so we need to have a shift about environmental, social, and wellness trade-off. Um, will be more to be worsened and limit the effectiveness of solution like TerraCycle. So let's come to Cường.
I'm Trịnh Cường, and I'm going to present part three of our analysis, focusing on the business solutions offered by TerraCycle. TerraCycle operates through three primary and innovative business models. First, the sponsor waste programs. Major brands like Colgate and Pepsi Company fund the recycling of hard to recycle materials. Consumers collect the waste, ship it to TerraCycle, and it is processed. The model is a practical application of extended producer responsibility. Second, the zero waste process. Here, consumers and businesses purchase a prepaid box for a specific waste stream, such as PPE or coffee pots, fill it and return it to TerraCycle of recycling. And third, Loop, a platform promoting a circular economy for packaging. Consumers receive products in durable, reusable containers. These are returned, cleaned, sterilized, and refilled by participating brands and retailers, including Nestle and Walgreens. Financially, next page, please. Financially, each model is robust and growth-oriented. The sponsor waste program, a P2P model, generates 33.5 million US dollars in net sales in 2021, a 36% year-on-year increase. The Zero Waste process, a P2C model combining direct sales and materials recovery, drove significant growth with 27.1 million dollars in revenues in 2019. Finally, Loop operates on platform models, generating revenues from brand fees, customers' deposits, and retail partnerships. Its potential is underscored by a $25 million investment raised in 2020 for global expansion. Next, these solutions directly support the United Nations Sustainability Development Goals. They contribute to SDG 11 by creating more sustainable cities through improved waste management, reducing the environmental impacts of waste versus landfills by 45 to 73%. Furthermore, they advance SDG 12. In the next page, on sustainable consumptions and productions, TerraCycle provide diverse plastics from landfill, raise consumer awareness, and crucially, through Loop, incentivize brands to design packaging for reuse and recycling, moving decisively away from a single-use paradigm. The environmental impact is profound. In the next page, the environmental impact is profound, addressing key planetary boundaries. TerraCycle's models reduce demand for virgin plastic, lessening petrochemical extraction and associated pollutions. They generate approximately 45% lower greenhouse gas emissions compared to traditional waste disposal. Most critically, by diverting billions of waste units to prevent the accumulations of plastic and novel entities in our environment, mitigating a significant ecological threat. Next part is for them.
Thank you, Kung, for the moving on from Kung's part. We will talk about our recommendations for TerraCycle. So first, TerraCycle can scale through local corporate and policy partnership through the expansion of sponsored waste and zero waste boxes in Vietnam via EPR laws. This will ensure stable funding and transparency, and TerraCycle has already done this with the collaboration with L'Oreal and Kao. Next up, they can enhance Loop and reuse adoption through localizing Loop in deposit return, supermarket refill, and delivery apps. This will achieve balanced sustainability with consumer convenience through the Carrefour's partnership with Loop in France. Next up, and finally, we'll have green growth fiscal policy, using TerraCycle revenue growth and LCA data to inform Vietnam's circular economy frameworks. This will move TerraCycle from niche projects to systemic policy integration, and we have our own case study of the EU Circular Economy Action Plan that sets target to all packaging to be recyclable and reusable by 2030, based on the Recycler Plan. And here are some of our smaller recommendations, which is expand brand partnership and sponsored programs. TerraCycle can collaborate with consumer brands to fund collection of hard-to-recycle waste in Vietnam by engaging local and regional companies. And through this, it can raise recycling rates and shift producer responsibility upstream. Next up, they can build trust with the UK business culture through subtle persuasion and relationship building through informal networking. And finally, it can invest in upcycling and material recovery innovation through the local initiatives, transforming non-recyclable waste into useful programs, which will lead to the circular economy, employment, and reducing landfill pressure. And also, as stated before, it can also collaborate with industries and artisans to tailor materials for Vietnam's economic context and demand. And finally, we'll move on to the conclusion. As Thai states, the problem that TerraCycle aim to tackle is the growing volumes of hard-to-recycle packaging, which can lead to fragmented recycling system, greenwashing risks, and rising environmental impacts. And so TerraCycle have their own solutions as through its initiatives from sponsored waste, zero waste boxes, loop upcycling that can create tangible pathway toward a circular economy by diverting waste, reducing carbon emissions, and driving reusable packaging innovations. And finally, we have some of our key takeaway, which is the importance of transparency and innovation in recycling. TerraCycle's model shows how business and society can collaborate to achieve SDGs through the SDG of 11, 12, and the planetary boundary framework. And finally, it can scale partnerships, adapting to local contexts and aligning with EPR policies that are vital for future sustainability. Thank you for listening to our